Hi, everybody. Meanwhile, people are joining in. I think let me give you a brief introduction about the speaker today and the very interesting topic that he has picked up. Thank you, Kuldeep, and I express my gratitude towards you for taking a very important topic and a very interesting one as well. For everybody else, I would like to tell you that Kuldeep is working as assistant professor and he has 13 years of experience. His area of specialization is English literature, which includes Indian English fiction, poetry, literary criticism, and everything else. He has taught English language, literature, personality development at all the undergraduates and PG levels. He has been constantly doing experiments and researches in his areas. And to everybody's delight, he has written poems in English and Gujarati and has even translated his poems. I'm sure in the end of this session is going to let us know where can we find his poems. So meanwhile, I would request Kuldeep to please start your session and all yours.
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction.
Yeah, Kuldeep. I hope everybody is able to hear it. I would just want to tell you one thing that after the session is over, I'll be sending out the recorded version of the whole session. We'll not be sending out any PPT or any kind of certificate for it. This is for your information, but though I'll be sending out the whole recording of the session. Over to you, Kuldeep. We can see your
okay,
screen.
thank
Yeah.
yeah. First of all, I would like to thank TeamLease University for providing me with a platform to share a concept of contributor personality development that is the need of the hour. This presentation is based on the concept of contributor personality development that was developed by Lumen Knowledge Resources Private Limited for GTU, and uh, the objectives of this presentation, or the presentation aims at exploring the personality of a contributor, understanding why contributors are valued most, making students aware of the concept of contributor and non-contributor personality, making students contributors, and encouraging students to contribute in the present situation of COVID-19. So, uh, first of all, uh, this is the main objective, or these are the main objectives of the presentation. And my presentation is divided into 6 parts. The first one is introduction. Then we shall explore the concept, that is contributor personality. Then we'll see the checklist for contributor's personality, whether he is a contributor or non-contributor. Then we'll discuss the application examples, whatever we discuss in the concept exploration, all those concepts, how these concepts can be applied. We'll see the difference between contributors and non-contributors, and finally we'll conclude. Now, before starting the introduction, I would like to play a video, and for that, Okay, with this video, I would like to start with the introduction. First of all, let me clarify. In the video or in the story, the character of Camel is a non-contributor. Now we shall explore who is the contributor. So before starting the concept of contributorship, let me state that there has always been contributors to change the lives of people, organization, and society. And the history is full of the stories of such people who sacrificed their lives for betterment of the society. And we have the examples of freedom fighters, social workers, and at present we can see the corona warriors. uh, these people lead organization, people, and society toward development and peace. So their contributions, only because of their contribution, they are called the contributors. According to Mr. D.R. Patel, I caught 20% or even less than that, that proportion of people gives a direction to desired behavior and also creates an impact on the behavior of the remaining 80% of the people. So here it is noteworthy that 80% of the people are following the behavior or the guideline or the ideology of 20% of the people, and these 20% of the people or less than 20% of the people are contributors. Excellent training in the desired fields is not enough, but it is necessary to acquire an appropriate mindset also. So we train the students, or the students are getting training in their desired field. That is not enough to survive in the world, and we require mindset or appropriate mindset, and we'll come to that point of appropriate mindset in the next slide. There is a great need to equip ourselves with not only the right skill sets, but also the right mindsets. Right mindset, what do we mean by right mindset? The right mindset includes effective actions and human values. Coming to the effective actions without human values can lead to personal benefits for individuals, but a long-term cost to both nation and society. On the other hand, human values without effective action can lead to an inability on the part of an individual to perform and flourish in today's environment. So here, what is more important is the right mindset that include effective actions and human values. So contributor is a fine combination of the two, that is effective action and human values. People who adopt and develop the right mindset early in their professional career are able to bring about a positive change in their overall personality, and they are able to grow the right approaches to their peers, seniors, industry, and their own future. They become more responsible and capable of shaping their own lives. Thus, with the help of right mindset, contributor will be able to contribute to self, organization, society, nation, and world. Now the question arises, how can we develop contributor personality? By becoming conscious of the fact that contributors are benefited in different ways, and non-contributors have to face a lot of problems, a lot of problems. One will automatically, when a person becomes conscious of this fact, the person will automatically start thinking in the direction of becoming a contributor if he or she wants to survive in the world full of competitions at every stage. So, with this much introduction, let us start discussing or start exploring the concept of contributor and the personality of a contributor. Here, exploration one, we have an example of a teacher. One person is a contributor and the other one is non-contributor. The contributor teacher is concerned about bringing out the best in each student. Such a teacher cares about the future of every student and whether they have built confidence in the subject or not. So here it is clear that the person or the teacher is asking the student why feel confident to do some. In this way, the person is or the teacher is concerned with the confidence of the student and whatever she is teaching, whether the students understand or not. On the contrary, we have the other example of non-contributor teacher who is unconcerned whether the students are paying attention or have understood what is being taught. Such teachers run through the syllabus, they complete the syllabus, are disengaged from their students. The result is students find these classes boring. Here in detail, this is just a situation and there are many other things or these are the this is the basic situation and many things depend on the detailed context. Here the example shows that in their work, contributors demonstrate concern for the human beings they serve. So they are concerned with the human beings and they think about the output or whatever they are doing, that is the giving result or not. So in this way, the first exploration is of teacher. The next one is of government officials, where the contributor government official ensures that a common citizen is able to get his work done. Here, a person comes to a government official and asks something. In that case, government official replies, "Don't worry, sir. When your payments are released, I will send it to you." So the government official ensures that a common citizen is able to get his work done. She goes all out to find a solution somehow or anyhow. She will try to find out the solution and she will try to help the person who has come to the office. Uh, Find a solution for a person and does everything within her power to accomplish it. On the contrary, the non-contributor person, the non-contributor government official is indifferent. He is not at all interested in the request of the client and does not bother to find a solution to the common citizens' problem. Such officials may do their duty, they complete the task or they complete their work and follow rules, but they make a common citizen run around from pillar to post. They don't care whether the work gets delayed and people find the interaction painful. They are not at all concerned with these things. And the example shows that contributors go all out to try and find an answer, and somehow or anyhow they will help the uh, clients. They take responsibility for making things happen in any situation. The next exploration is of the sweeper. The contributor sweeper and non-contributor sweepers are there on the screen. Contributor sweeper thinks that only if the area is kept clean, the people will be able to lead a disease-free life. And on the contrary, the non-contributor sweeper thinks my duty time is over. I am off for the day. Let the other sweeper worry about the remaining kachra. Here it is clear that the contributor sweeper cares enough to ensure that the living environment is clean for people in the locality. She has a wider view of her work and doesn't just see herself as sweeping kachra. She takes pride in her work of creating a clean and hygienic environment for the people who live there. On the contrary, non-contributor sweepers just works only for the sake of working, and she is working for her dal roti, and she has no pride or interest in her job and works like a robot without any kind of feeling or attachment. Thus, she becomes careless and she develops a kind of chalta hai attitude, and the example shows that contributors have a wider view of their work and thus take pride in doing their work well, whether he is a manager or a sweeper. Next exploration is of the team. Here two team members are there. The contributor team member always puts the team success before personal success. So here main objective of the contributor team member will be the objective or the goal of the team, not the personal goal. Such team members are committed to the larger purpose and don't let personal egos come in the way. And the non-contributor the team member pursues personal goals even if it is at the cost of the team, or team goals. Such people may be talented as individual stars but are unable to contribute in a team environment. So as a team member he will be a failure. Personally he can get anything, but as a team member he will be very harmful to the team and the society as well. Here the example shows that the contributors focus is on achieving the larger goals of the team rather than focusing only on his or her own personal success. So they are not concerned only with their personal success or personal intentions or personal goals. They are concerned first with the goal of the organization or the team, and then they think about the personal goal. Now, how to check whether the action is a combination of effectiveness or and human values? So there is a checklist for that, and if uh, uh, all the four things are completed or the work is done well, goal is achieved, the person is ethical, and the person demonstrate human concerns, at that time we can say that the person is a contributor. And it is noteworthy that uh, a person may not be 100% contributor in all the situations, because it is possible that the person may work well, he may achieve goal in one field or one context or one situation, and it is also possible that he will not be able to maintain the other aspects, or he will not be able to be 100% contributor. Now let us think about all the four exploration where we have uh, checklist here. Which of these do you think would be met by the contributor teacher and which would be met by the non-contributor teacher? So four things are there. Think about the contributor and non-contributor teacher, whether whether he or she is performing the work well, he or she is achieving the goal, whether he or she is ethical, or and whether he or she is demonstrating human concern. In this way, it will be quite clear that contributor teachers will be performing well, achieving the goal, they will be considered ethical, and they will be demonstrating human concerns as well. On the contrary, non-contributor teachers may be working well from their point of view, but we can say that they are not performing well because the goals will not be achieved definitely. So achieving the goals, no. Being ethical, uh, the teacher may be right from his own point of view, but it is possible that the person may not be considered as ethical, because the result or the output will be zero. And obviously the demonstration of human concern is not there at all. So the non-contributor teacher will not fulfill these requirements, and the contributor teacher will fulfill the uh, requirement of these 4 points. Next, government official. Let's look at contributor and non-contributor personality. Who is working well? It is clear, and achieving the goal. The goal is to serve people, and make the things happen for the client. So here goal is achieved by contributor and non-contributor is not able to achieve the goal. So far as being ethical is concerned, the contributor is can be considered ethical, and non-contributor person is not being ethical. So far as demonstration of human concern is there, contributor person will show human concerns, whereas here the person who is shown as non-contributor will be not concerned with the concerns of client. Next, checklist of exploration 3, where the idea is clear, where the person is working well, achieving the goal, being ethical, and demonstrating human values. Then here it is quite clear that the contributor sweeper has all the 4 qualities. On the contrary, non-contributor person doesn't have these qualities. Explanation 4, performing work well. As a team member, contributors are doing well, and non-contributor will be concerned with the personal goal, achieving the goal. Non-contributor person will be achieving the personal goal, whereas a contributor person will be achieving the goal of team. Being ethical, the things are quite clear that contributor person is an ethical person, and non-contributor person is not there. Here, demonstrating human concerns, keeping all the team members' welfare in mind. Contributor person is showing the human concern, whereas the person who is a non-contributor focuses only on the personal goal. So in this way, we can check the behavior or the action done by a particular person in any context, whether the person is working well, achieving goal, the person is being ethical, or and the person is demonstrating the human concern or not. And on the basis of all these 4 points, we can evaluate the person, whether the person is a contributor or non-contributor. Now these concepts, if the person is working somewhere, here are the examples of the application of these concepts in a workplace. Mr. A and Mr. B are team leaders with responsibility of completing 2 important assignments, and after successful completion of their assignment or the projects, following is how they think. So Mr. A and Mr. B both think in a different way. Mr. A thinks that I have done a great job here. I must ensure I get noticed by the management. It is a chance for promotion. So the person thinks about his own promotion only, whereas he was the leader. So it means that some other team members also will be there with him to complete the work or the assignment. Next point, next person thinks that we have done a great job. So he focuses on we instead of I. We have done a great job. Each person's contribution was important. Without that, we couldn't have achieved success. In the next presentation to the management, I must mention how valuable each person's contribution was. So here, Mr. B thinks with we, and Mr. A focuses only on I. So Mr. A becomes a selfish person with the quality of non-contributory, and Mr. B becomes a contributor who focuses on the efforts of the team members also. Application example 2, Mr. A and Mr. B graduated from the same college and started working in an accounting firm. both the persons have got job in the same firm. For 6 months, they had a training program, and after that, they were given uh, uh, their work, or they were assigned work in audit department. Usually, the audit work is a kind of cyclic work where we can find some months full of work, or they have a lot of work, and there are other times when work is relatively lighter. So in this context or in this situation, Mr. A did all the work that he was given, but he didn't know what to do during the period of light work. So he got bored and started gossiping with others, and he started killing the time. Somehow or anyhow, he started killing time. Mr. B too worked like Mr. A during the peak season, and during the period of light work, he started getting involved in other tasks and started helping others. So he learned a lot, and he did not get bored also. Finally, at the end of the year, both said, Mr. A, you have not done much in this year, and Mr. B, you have improved a lot. So this was the feedback, and these were the remarks of the boss on the activity or the actions or the work done by both of them. So Mr. A thought that how could I have done? Boss didn't give me much work to do. So here Mr. A thinks that I was not given any work, and whatever was given to me, I have already completed. Then how can boss say that I have not done much? So here Mr. A is a non-contributor, and Mr. B is a contributor who finds out work for himself, or just starts getting involved in other works also. In this way, the Mr. B improves a lot, and he doesn't feel bored. Now, let us look at the difference between contributors and non-contributors' personality. On the basis of the concept and the examples, we can say that contributors are selfless. Whatever they are doing, they are not focusing only on I, they focus on we. On the contrary, non-contributors are selfish. They are concerned with their own benefits or their own goals. Contributors are frank and truthful, whereas non-contributors are hypocrites. Self-imposed discipline is found in contributors, whereas non-contributors are found disciplined when they are under the supervision. Contributors do excellent work. On the contrary, non-contributors work in routine manner. Contributors demonstrate human values, whereas non-contributors are not at all concerned with the human beings' concerns. Contributors always try to adjust with the situation. They are always ready to adjust with any kind of situation, whereas non-contributors find it very difficult to adjust with the situation. Contributors focus on long-term achievements. They are not concerned with the short-term benefits, and they look at the future and long-term achievements. Whereas non-contributors think about the short-term benefits, and their vision of success is very narrow. Contributors are proactive, and non-contributors do not take initiatives. Contributors think about the benefit of all concerned people, and non-contributors are concerned with only their own progress. Contributors can find the solutions, whereas it becomes very difficult for non-contributors to find the solutions. Contributors give importance to work instead of formal power. They don't think that he's not a manager, or he's not given an appropriate position or power. So they focus on work instead of formal power, whereas formal power is more important for non-contributors. So this is the difference, and contributor prefer to accept challenges, whereas non-contributors try to escape from challenges. In this way, contributory approach becomes their lifestyle, so far as contributors are concerned. So, and escapism becomes the lifestyle of non-contributors. Because of all these characteristics, contributors are valued everywhere, whereas non-contributors are not valued anywhere. And finally, by being a contributor, the person will contribute to self, organization, society, nation, and the world. And whereas non-contributor will not be able to contribute to anybody. In this way, this is the difference between contributor's personality and non-contributor's personality. Finally, I would conclude with the remark that if one wants to be valued, one should observe his or her actions and evaluate them using the checklist of contributorship. Only contributors will survive in the present world full of competition, and without contributors, even the world will not survive. And finally, one cannot be 100% contributor in all the situations. However, one should try to be one. So this is the difference, and the presentation is based on the concept developed by Lumen Ideas. And for further reading, participants may collect these books, or they can go to the sources and they can find. Thank you.
I think let's open the forum for questions now. Anybody, any sort of questions? Any questions, anybody? I think Kuldeep, you were explanatory enough, and even if anybody has a question, sometimes later you can write back to us. I'll be giving the questions to Kuldeep, and we'll try to get answers out of him, and I will send it to you. I think then let's call this session as an end. Thank you, Kuldeep, so much for giving us this opportunity and guiding us through this topic. Everybody else, I'll be sending out the recorded version to you guys. If you have any kind of questions, please write back to us.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.